What's up, guys? It's Carter, and I'm back with another weekly vlog. Upper lower split, 4 workouts for the week. Started the week off with max effort, upper day, and we did a buffalo bar close grip bench. Last week was a buffalo bar just regular grip, and we only got about 280. I was feeling a little weak here. I was feeling a little stronger, but this was a fight. But I fought through that mid-range weak point that I have there and was able to lock it out. That was definitely a true max, no training max there. So we went ahead and moved on to some flat dumbbell presses. Really going to be going hard with the dumbbells here for the foreseeable future, because we really want to attack the chest and really get some good hypertrophy for the chest. Back when we were pushing these pretty hard, I was starting to hit some PRs right before the cut, or right at the beginning of the cut. So we're going to be hammering these going forward. So flat dumbbell presses, these were at 90 pounds. We did 3 sets here, and they felt pretty good, kind of getting reacclimated to the dumbbell presses. And then we did some dumbbell incline presses, and these I started off with 80s, and it ended up just being too heavy. My chest was a little fatigued from the benching prior to this, so I went ahead and dropped them down to 70s, and that's what you're seeing here. Doing 70s for 3 sets of 10, and they're feeling pretty good. Got a nice chest pump after these. And so we moved on to the pull downs, and still using this regular pull down bar, just a straight bar, gripping it out wide, doing a thumb over grip to kind of work around this forearm pain that I'm experiencing, and this seems to do a pretty good job. I'm able to push these pretty hard with little pain. So then we moved on to some lateral raises, and using some 30-pound dumbbells here, 3 sets of 10, just getting a little extra shoulder work, mostly side delt, but we're using all heads of the delt here too, not just the side. Definitely using some rear delt as well. And then we moved on to some band press downs, still doing these 5 sets of 20 plus. And really just trying to keep those elbows healthy and those triceps pumped up. This is really the only direct tricep work I have been doing for months, and seems to be working well, and no elbow problems at all. We moved on to max effort lower day, doing a sumo deadlift variation, and this is 365. And I went ahead and used straps for these because the grip was slipping a little bit rather than doing a mixed grip. That felt pretty good. That has gone up considerably since I started doing some sumo a couple months ago. So that's moving right along. And then we moved on to some good mornings, and we've been hitting these pretty hard. I upped these again. I think I upped them 15 pounds. So using 130 here, still pretty light compared to, say, my squat, or even deadlift. But I got to get this back acclimated to this work. I think that's really where the issue is. I'm strong enough to do heavier than this, but I gotta kind of get my back used to it. And but they're moving well, but they are hard as shit. But we moved on to some belt squats, and I took these really wide today, did a really wide stance after the sumos, and really felt these in the adductors, and I was taking them pretty low too. And I think I used the same weight I was using, 240, but these were rough, and I was pretty sore for the next couple days after these two and the adductors. But I think I'll stick with the wide stance for a little while. Should have some good carryover to my wider stance squat. And then we did some glute ham raises, and these and the reverse hypers are just so much harder after doing good mornings that I was struggling to finish like the second and third set of the glute ham raises. And then the reverse hypers, I've been doing 5 sets of 25 for a while, pushing it up about 10 pounds every week. But because when we started those good mornings, my glutes and hamstrings and erectors are all fatigued pretty good. So I've kind of kept it at 145 for, a couple weeks now. And I hadn't moved it. But I believe this week was the first time I actually was able to finish all sets and reps with the glute ham raise and reverse hyper. So we're in a good place there. Still pushing those. So I'll probably go ahead and up the weight next week. So stay tuned for that. Then we moved on to dynamic effort upper day. So still using bands for the speed work. 80 pounds bar weight, 80 pounds bands, and using a close, medium, and wide grip. 9 sets of 3. Just focusing on being explosive and being as fast as I can be. Trying to split up the eccentric and concentric parts of the rep with a little bit of a pause on the chest, so I can focus on being explosive out of the bottom without using that stretch reflex. Moved on to some incline dumbbell presses. No flat on this day, just straight into incline. So chest wasn't as fatigued. It was nice and warmed up after that speed work. So I went with 80s, where earlier in the week I couldn't get 10 reps with the 80s after the flat bench. But here I was able to get all 10 reps for all 3 sets because I wasn't fatigued going into it. So then we moved on to some lat pull downs, and still using the same straight bar, wide grip, thumb over grip, and they're feeling really good. I'll probably go ahead and up them next time. While they're still challenging, I just feel like I could put another 5 pounds on there and progress these a little bit. Really getting a nice pump in the lats and upper back on these. And we moved on to some dumbbell front raises because the upright rows that were programmed on here were no bueno for the forearm. So just doing some front raises, hit the same muscles, getting a little bit of the front delt and upper chest without putting as much stress on that forearm. And then we went ahead and moved on to some band press downs as usual. Again, just trying to keep these elbows healthy and these triceps pumped up. And then we moved on to dynamic effort lower day. And we went back to the safety squat bar for the speed work, the speed box squats. And these were feeling pretty good. Felt pretty fast. We did 8 sets of 2, and then moved on to some speed pulls against about 100 pounds of bands and about 125 bar weight. And these were feeling nice and explosive. Back wasn't bothering me very much on those at all. I'm able to be explosive without really worrying about my back at all. And then on to some good mornings, and went ahead and upped these. I think I started with 135. I'd upped them 5 pounds, but I was able to get 11 reps, so I went ahead and upped them to 140. So it's about a 10-pound jump from earlier in the week. And again, they're feeling pretty good, but they are tough, and my back is allowing it for the time being, so fingers crossed on that. I'm just going to keep pushing them up, and hopefully I can get to where I need to be, or where I should be relative to my squat and deadlift. And then we moved on to the glute ham raises. Again, doing 3 sets of 10. And again, these are really tough after doing the good mornings. Much harder than before when we weren't doing those. But we did cut down the volume down to 3 sets from 5 before, but still staying for 5 sets on the reverse hyper. 5 sets of 25, still at 145. Like I said, I think I'm up it next week because I was able to finish all sets and reps this week. So really appreciate you guys watching. Go ahead and like the video if you made it this far, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys in the next one.